In deportation from the United Kingdom, I haven't lived in the UK. This woman's story is very, very interesting, and there are valuable lessons that can be learned from this story. This lady initially came to the UK in 2019. Before she came to the UK, she applied for she was in a relationship with a British citizen. She applied for a spouse visa in 2018, and in 2019 it was granted. When the visa was granted, her British spouse, unfortunately, he died. When the guy died, this lady, she did not inform the authorities. She flew into the UK on her own, knowing full well that her husband, who is a British citizen, has died. So she came to the UK. She arrived in the UK, and she was living in the UK. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. If you do not want to meet out on the latest update on the lived experiences of immigrants, on the latest update, this is the Launch Club, where we bring you the latest updates to inform and educate our audience. Information and knowledge are the two most important things in life when it comes to success of any migration story. This lady, when she then came to the UK, she then applied for indefinite leave to remain as a spouse of a British citizen who is deceased. The woman thought that now that she's not living in the UK, her husband, a British husband, has died. She will be able to apply to remain in the country. Guess what? She applied. The Home Office refused her application. Meanwhile, some people are saying that the Home Office, in the first place, they should not have granted her a visa, knowing full well that her British husband is deceased. The woman, she did not accept the first refusal. She took the case, she appealed the case, and she reapplied again. This time around, the lady, she got the same outcome, refusal. Do you know anyone who has experienced something similar? Because this woman's case is quite interesting. The husband, who is a British citizen, is not here to advocate for her. The woman then, she didn't give up. She continued to press for the case. Whilst all this was going on, she went and was in a relationship with another guy who this time around, the guy is an African. She met this African guy. She was in a relationship with this African guy, and she thought that, okay, now since the Home Office have told me that I cannot apply on the ground that her husband is now deceased, surely she will be able to use this other man that she is now in a relationship with to apply for indefinite leave to remain. This time around, she's already been refused indefinite leave to remain 2 times. Do you know anyone? Let me know what your views are in the comment section, because a lot of people are in similar situation, or a lot of people have had cases like this. Information is power. The woman then said, okay, since why the Home Office, the Home Office rule doesn't say that you will be refused, because it says on the Home Office website itself, it says to apply for indefinite leave to remain as a bereaved spouse in the UK, you would apply under the bereaved partner category within the immigration rule, which is typically referred to as the approximate FM, right? Meaning you are essentially applying to settle based on your deceased partner's status as your spouse at the time of their death. There is no separate grant to apply for, but you must meet the specific criteria outlined in this section to be eligible. Key point about applying as a bereaved spouse. You must have been in a genuine and subsidizing relationship with your partner at the time of their death, and you must have been granted permission to live in the UK as their partner previously. So in this lady's case, she was in a relationship with her British spouse at the time of his death, and the woman was granted a visa by the UK embassy abroad to come and live in this country. Some people are saying that this lady, going by the Home Office criteria, she met the criteria because, one, she was in a genuine relationship with a British man who sadly died, and two, she was granted a visa by the UK embassy despite the fact that her husband was deceased at the time the visa was granted. Let me know what your views are, whether you think that this woman deserved to be sent back to her home country, or you thought that this woman, she deserved to live in the UK, knowing full well that she was in a relationship with a British man who sadly is now deceased. Don't forget to give this video a like. There are a lot of people need to learn, because some people might be in similar situations and they do not know what to do. So this lady at this time, this man that she's not in a relationship with now, the man is now battling to say, this woman, she's my partner. I want her to live in the UK because we have a genuine relationship. Unfortunately, the man's business was doing very well before. However, in the last few years, the business is no longer doing very well, and the man is now in a situation where he doesn't meet the 18,600 that he has to earn to be able to support his partner. So the man has a job, the man has earning, but the only barrier is that he doesn't earn up to 18,600. And because of that, the Home Office have made it very clear that the third appeal that the woman has put in, the Home Office has also refused the appeal and saying that the woman, she will be sent back to her country. This case is very important. It's among the 34,000 people which the Home Office have said that they are battling with their cases in the immigration tribunal. The case, the people, they have been asked to leave the UK and they keep appealing. What is your view about this case? Do you think that this woman who came to the UK when she was in a relationship with a British spouse and she was granted British spouse visa to come and meet her spouse in the UK who is not deceased, do you think that this woman, she should stay, knowing full well, as I said before, she was in a genuine relationship with her British husband who is no longer here to advocate for the woman? This woman's case is still hanging on the thread. She could be sent back to her home country because the man that she's not in a relationship with, the man, he doesn't earn enough money to support her. Let me know what your views are in the comment section about this case. Do you think that this woman doesn't have any business, should be sent back to her home country? Or do you think that given that she was in a relationship with a British man, she deserves to be given the second chance to stay in the country?